Avatar the Last Airbender is trash.
That's rough, buddy.
Now, I'm not going to dance around that, pretend that wasn't a bold statement. But it wasn't. And just so you know, I'm not talking about the real masterpiece. The live-action movie. That thing was phenomenal from start to finish. The dialogue, the action, the choreography. So let us raise our hands in praise of this Oscar-worthy cinematic piece. I mean, just look at these examples here. I'm sure you won't be disappointed.
My name is Ang. And I'm the Avatar.
Here we go, already hit him up with a quick slide tackle, then a jump over this guy doing some gymnastic moves. Bury him in ice. This guy's getting pinned against a wall. That's a little suggestive, as well as this guy getting trapped in ice. But that dude just fell on his glory. That dude getting springed up like in Mario Party. And that dude's neck is snapped and encased in ice. That's a little bit of a double bogey. Alright guys, this is the choreography that I was talking about. Just look, here comes the boulder, he's hitting him with the 1-2 Kamehameha gone. Now I know after hearing my quick take on the live action movie, you're probably already giving me the double thumbs up and obliterating that like button below. But just in case you're not, and for some reason you're having a stroke and started screaming at your computer and rushing to the comment section to tell me off, I'm gonna ask you to calm down, grab some hot tea, sit back, and hear me out. Back in the day, this childlike animation could have passed off with anyone under the age of 5, but now we have to look at this show through our grown-up lenses. And unfortunately, the first thing that we see when we put on these glasses is, what the hell is this animation supposed to be? It looks like some cheap knockoff of an actual Japanese anime, but at the same time looks nothing like an actually good American cartoon. It's this weird bastard hybrid creature that has been created to come up from the depths of the poopy sewers below, practically your bumhole in the middle of the night. The pure fact that these humans can think creating these abominations to God is okay is truly baffling to me. I mean, I don't even know what to call it anymore. Is it a cartoonime or anatoon? Ugh. Either way, this leads me to believe the animators clearly did not have any care for the actual drawings, or, more likely, the real blame is with Michael and Brian, the creators of this show, who have some weird fetish with this style of animation. To make matters worse, Michael and Brian were absolute taskmasters to the animators, as seen in this letter, which was clearly not forged by me. I mean, just look at this scene with Zuko and his mentally stable sister. It just looks like everything needs to be brushed out. But again, I can't really blame the animators when there were rumors going around that they were never able to drink water, but only Monster Energy drink to keep them wired in a basement until all the animations were done and completed on time. Allegedly. But again, this show is just no longer any good rewatching and reviewing it as an adult. But as a kid, I guess I could see how you can look past its many animation flaws. Oh my god, where do I even begin here? I guess it has to be with the simple vocabulary that the characters use, and how it never feels like the characters actually develop whatsoever. Basically, they're the same from the first time that we see them till the end. Except for Aang and Zuko, but we'll get into that later. Honestly, my number one recommendation for the creators is to go get a library card, check out a book, and actually read some good stories to know how it is actually done. Another thing that irritates me is how there is a distinct lack of diversity among the characters. Not to mention the rampant amounts of animal cruelty that is shown. Trigger warning ahead, this next scene shows large amounts of animal cruelty. Skip to the time shown on the screen if you don't want to see that. Alright, you've been warned. For all that is holy, how can you say that this scene is okay in today's society? From Sokka constantly wanting meat to this, I mean, where won't the authors be willing to go? But I can forgive all that compared to its worst trait, which is that Avatar the Last Airbender shows true lack of understanding of itself, and the ability to laugh at oneself makes the whole 3 seasons extremely hard for any viewer to watch. And from this, the characters end up being the ones that suffer in the end. So let's take a look at that now. Aang is one of the few characters that actually changes from start to finish, even though he should be dead from being trapped in ice for 100 years, but hey, that's one of its many flaws. In the beginning, Aang is some cold-blooded murderer who will kill any firebender without a second thought, while putting on this facade that he is a pacifist. I mean, just look right here at how many firebenders died in this scene. But what actually irritates me is how he can't kill the Fire Lord at the end of the show, who is basically Hitler. Also, does it not creep anyone else out that Aang is hitting on Katara, even though there is a 98-year age gap between them? Truly disgusting, Nickelodeon. Truly disgusting. Finally, Aang never really has any badass fight scenes or funny moments.
Trying to cross over into the spirit world, it takes all his concentration. Is there any way we can help?
How about some quiet? Come on, guys, I can hear every word you're saying.
We'll have to be fast, but careful.
How is that careful?
He's just a boring stoic monk who hits on young girls and has an obsession for killing. Oh, Katara, where do I even begin? How about how you never shut up about your damn mom dying? I just want to say thanks to Alex the Avatar for showing that she does this for an entire 1 minute and 38 seconds. That is too damn long. Another thing that she does that is super annoying is constantly nagging about female rights. I mean, right, guys? Right? I'm imagining virtual high fives going on in the background right now because I don't have any female friends. But just ignore that. Let's give an example here, like at the Northern Water Tribe, where she is forced to learn healing, but no, she wants to learn combat with the men. Ironically, healing happens to be one of her most useful skills throughout the rest of the show. And then there's bloodbending, and all the waterbending that she learns from the scrolls, but we're just going to ignore that because that doesn't really support my argument. Ah, my main man Zuko, how the mighty have fallen. You went from a bounty hunter badass to a complete and total bitch. I mean, just take a listen here.
I admit it. I have everything I always wanted, but it's not at all how I thought it would be. The truth is, I need your advice. I think the Avatar is still alive. I know he's out there. I'm losing my mind. Please, Uncle, I'm so confused. I need your help.
Forget it. I'll solve this myself. Waste away in here for all I care.
I mean, what a little bitch he has become. There is nothing worse than seeing a character going from something great to absolutely falling on their face. He used to stop at nothing to get what he wanted, but then learned something called feelings and started questioning everything. It truly ruined his character from the pure evil machine that he was. However, I will concede that his relationship with his uncle is flawless, and that is primarily because Uncle Iroh is perfect in everything that he does.
So this is how the great Commander Zhao acts in defeat? Disgraceful. Even in exile, my nephew is more honorable than you. Thanks again for the tea.
Yeah, I don't hate on blind people. Next. Poor Sokka. He is the only one in this entire group that does not have any mystical powers. He tries to not let it hinder the group, but in reality, it slows them down. But that's okay, since the writers have made him the butt of most of the jokes.
want a bird to hear us chatting up there and turn us in.
Hey! We're in enemy territory. Those are enemy birds. Look! Can your fortune-telling explain that?
Can your science explain why it rains?
Yes! Yes, it can!
However, they also did make his character pretty funny. And I mean, what's the old saying? You don't have to be good looking, but just make her laugh. Well, Sokka's both. And this helps him to pull every girl in the entire show. I mean, if Sokka comes walking down your street, you better lock your girl inside because he will steal her. My man is the most wanted lady killer in the entire world, since he is the strategist of the group. And even though he cannot use any mystical powers, he does learn how to use a sword. And that's pretty neat. The Cabbage Man is a true rags to riches story. From Avatar the Last Airbender, where he struggles his way through, to The Legend of Korra, where he has built a multi-billion-dollar operation. Now on to the final segment, which is that it's just boring. Yes, it has wild and crazy creatures. Yes, each of the characters are unique in their own way. Yes, it is set in a crazy fantasy land. Yes, it points out problems that are occurring in today's society, but in a creative way so that kids can learn about topics such as the persecution of certain groups of people is wrong, how we should always try and help each other, how we go through periods of depression and struggle, but there will always be brighter days tomorrow, and that we can always make friends in the most unlikely of circumstances. But as I mentioned before, boring stuff. And this is because it's meant for kids. As adults, none of this really translates, and it just feels fake. The comedic scenes seem way less funny than they once were before.
Interested, you have to act aloof. Like you don't really care one way or the other.
Well, okay. Hey, Aang. I was wondering. See you later.
Wow, that kid is good.
Hurry up, Sokka!
Just a guy with a boomerang. I didn't ask for all this flying and magic. This may be a little tough, but try to block me. Good.
And the once mystical land of people being able to bend the elements is just no longer there. And that is okay, but we just have to realize that. Once we arrive there, I think we can finally have that silly little subreddit of adult children fade away into the annals of history.
What is what?
It's a giant mushroom. Maybe it's friendly!
Let's just keep moving. I hope Aang's okay.
Friendly mushroom! Mushy giant friend!
I just wanted to say thank you all for taking the time to watch my first video. This did take a lot of time and effort. I do plan on reading the comments, so if you have any suggestions, please leave them below. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Oh, and what is that? We have one more message to put out.
There's no war in Ba Sing Se.